Can you feel that? Oh, that's what it's like to date the shaman girl.
That's messed up, buddy.
Welcome, everybody, to Numero 10.
Episode
number 10.
10, yeah.
Episode 10 of Too Much to Handle. I am Billy the Kid. I am here accompanied by, nonetheless, the mighty AO. How you doing, bud?
What's up, buddy, man? I'm excited to talk about. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover in a little bit of time.
That's funny that you start out the episode with the chakra girl.
Oh, well,
it's been like probably over 2 months.
Okay, hang on. Pause that. Let's give everybody a quick bio of today's show.
Oh, nice.
We're going to discuss. Well, we usually discuss.
We got a special guest coming on board.
I like to get into AO and his weekend and his dating life. We're going to talk a little bit about some fights coming up, and we do have a special guest, a friend of Anthony. Who's that?
That's Miss Chelsey Moters. She's in the cannabis industry, so we're going to be giving her a good time to kind of explain and give us a heads up in the background in the industry. I'm excited to see her and have her as a guest.
Yeah, Chelsey Moter is awesome. She's gonna be a fun guest. Excellent. So I rang the bells.
Yeah.
For obvious reason. Because it's been a couple weeks, so I want to know what's up with you and the shaman girl.
No, it's actually been a little bit longer since I kind of been talking to the shaman girl.
Okay, so no more shaman girl?
No
Shaka Zulu girl?
No, but the energy's still strong within myself.
Okay.
I'm still meditating.
Oh, God. So
and
now do you pour the candle wax on your own chest now?
It's still doing the yoga and getting my jujitsu but no, I've been hanging out with
you have a little satchel with stones that you lay all over your body.
what they call that Reiki, kind of heal that body.
Oh my God! Do you like steam them first before you put them on?
They put the oils on you, and no, I've been I even contemplated about letting you meet. I've been hanging out with my friend.
Wait. We're talking about the same gal, and she's
the one I kind of reconnected with.
Yeah.
And it's been about 2 months. I'm kind of
2 months, and it's just friends still. Is that other word ever cross your mind? That word she's gonna want to hear eventually.
Yeah, no, she probably want to hear it, but like. There's situations that I've been kind of taking her. I took her to my work party recently.
Oh, wow.
And I'm kind of getting hit up by other people there. Obviously, work party is a tough environment. You're introducing her to your boss.
Right.
You want her. Obviously, it's a reflection on who you are. Kind of.
How are you introducing her?
I was introducing her as my friend.
Is your friend?
But it's someone I said I've been hanging out with. This is someone
Yeah. How did that come up?
It came up with after I brought her in. Actually, no one asked the whole time while we're having dinner, having drinks. Just she's a great co-pilot. We got a hotel up in Newport. We even went running. We're doing stuff. She's fitting into my routine pretty well. And she's on the scale of 1 to 10. Oh, damn, I don't want to. She's in the 8 of hanging. This is she's a friend. She's filling in a lot of needs. It's just business, working out with her. So in the last 2 months, I had to. I don't know. We had a good time.
Okay, so you're telling me all these things, and you're still introducing her as your friend. I am still
introducing her as my friend. I know. Oh. Well, I got hit up by one
of. You're on borrowed time, my friend. That's all I can tell you. You are on. Is
that bad? Taking her to a work environment and what constituted?
Well, I guess that's still early on. I guess and I don't know the nature of time spent together.
Exactly.
So I mean that all factors in. So if you're not seeing each other on a daily basis. Every day. I mean, I don't know.
But I could tell you, I'm just seeing her right now, and that's been kind of good for me. And it's a surprise that I'm doing this. So I know you probably, what do you think? Is it?
I can't give advice on it. I'm blown away by the friend thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm wrong, and I don't know if I'm wrong by doing it, but I'm being honest.
So, right? But so you're fighting it.
I think that's
kind of fighting it a little
I'm
bit.
fighting it, but I'm trying to enjoy the moment, trying to let things happen. And
well, it seems like
seems
like things are happening. That's for sure. I just think I'm just wow. So man, how long do you think you're gonna be able to pull this friend thing off before you get the talking to?
That's why I'm kind of asking you. Would it be like, I feel like, even though her and I hung out, like I said, we reconnected from back in the past, and it's been about a couple months. She knows I do this show, and she probably thinks it's probably not the best for a dating scenario. But I'm honest, and
you know what? But you're honest about it. That's great.
And authentic about it, and being real with her. And I've been real with her, so I'm telling you this, like, okay, and I just know if you say girlfriend, that's like another level, right?
Well, for sure. That's the one of the bigger steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, engagement's not nearly as important as that first girlfriend moment. I wouldn't think, like when you become like that official, because the bond is so strong. Then you know what I mean. When you have those terms.
But if you add that word, you see like another gear changing, right? That like the plans.
Yeah, that's what
trying
it's
to like
that moment when your testicles suck right back up in your body, and you just succumb.
Is that what happens? What do you mean?
Something like that. Yeah.
What do you mean succumb? We don't come no more anymore? Well, what's succumb?
No, I'm not talking about that kind of coming. I'm just saying you will fall victim. Well, or maybe not victim. It works for a lot of people. So I'm living proof. So I can't say that. But
I would say, like, I hope, and I think I could be honest with her and say, hey, if she asked me, because when we went up to this trip, obviously we did the road trip. So we got a chance to go up the coast and talk a lot, looking at homes. You know how they're visualizing what could be, and
that was boyfriend girlfriend shit. That's what you were doing. that's not something a platonic man and woman go do. They don't take road trips. I drive through and talk about fucking houses together in the future. Like, come on, man.
No, not in the future. Just house is what's cool. Just ideas. Like, I'm trying to buy a house right now, and she's a little co-pilot and helping me institute going in the right direction. She's a good influence.
You know where she's going to take that, right?
I know. That's my house.
No, that's our house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're good. They're smarter than us. Keep that in mind.
That's what I heard. That's what my buddy said.
Oh, they're smarter than us. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt.
No. Just ask them. They'll tell you.
They'll do it with pride and why. I tell them, and I, what's been good. I've been trying to. I see this strong womanhood, and I'm trying to, in a joking way, and get her to like,
No, I will say
who the boss is in a joking way.
Without a doubt, women are 10 times more intelligent when it comes to this kind of shit. Oh. Trust me, she's 100 steps ahead of you, bro. I guarantee you.
But I'm playing like strong, like like
she seems like a very smart gal. So good luck.
Oh man! So I took her to the Christmas party, and then at the end of the night, when I was leaving, I was saying goodbye to one of my coworkers that was head of HR, and he's asking me, "So who is she? What is this your first? Is she just coming to the Christmas party, or was she potential?" And I right there.
He said that in front of both of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I said,
"Damn, he just threw you right under the bus."
And so
was he drunk?
Yeah, everyone had a good time.
Yeah, he was definitely drunk because that's some.
What's kind of cool, that means she made a good impression on them.
Well, of course, like I said, she's obviously a smart gal.
So I said, I don't know yet. I said, I don't know yet. That's the truth. And she's, so she heard me say friend, and she kind of gave me the shit on the way home. You're right. Yeah. It wasn't the best ride home. She's like, okay, when we got home, she's like,
oh, I bet she tore your ass.
Like, I think you need to meditate, and because I know you're all about that, and and you need to kind of figure out what you like. And I looked at her, I was like, well, I'm just being real, bro. I'm just because it is defense.
All of our listeners are falling in love with her more and more by the minute.
Oh,
just so you know that.
Yeah, because she's hanging in. She's hanging in, trying to figure me out.
She's smarter than you.
Oh.
I'm just telling you. Don't take offense to it.
Okay, so that's what I kind of been doing. What I didn't do for Halloween, Thanksgiving, I went out with the boys. I went to go check out back in the homestead, and there's a lot of pretty girls. You know how everyone gets back, but I guess my attention was still on her. You know when you go back for Halloween when it's Thanksgiving when everyone goes out the night before.
Right. So you had no desire to like wander eye, which is good.
Yeah. So I was proud of myself. And then
you're all grown up.
We'll see. And then I took her to my Christmas party, and I think I'm doing all the right moves, but I'm also being defensive.
You're clearly being defensive there, friend.
She's my good friend. My good friend.
Is she made good friend?
Yeah.
This is my good friend. Forget about it. The fuck are you talking about? Oh, don't ever say good friend. Don't ever say good friend. Unless you want to walk home from whatever party you're at with her.
Oh, man. So, but after, the tough road I'm taking, it was all good. We had a good time.
Well, that's good.
What about you? Did you, wasn't the fight going on this past week?
Yeah, that was this past week. Excuse me. Thanksgiving was cool, the usual. Big group of friends and we go down to the beach and have a big condo.
I saw a lot of pictures. You guys were having a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time.
What did you guys? Who cooked?
Deanna cooked. She makes like her Dominican style turkeys every year, and they're like the best thing you've ever had in your life.
So since you're saying that you spent with her, that's one of our future guests. Who's Deanna?
Yes, Deanna Maria Riva. She is a little Miss Hollywood actress and a dear friend of mine. She's has agreed to come on the show as well. She's been in a ton of movies. I'm not even going to sit and bore you to death with them. She was on telenovela with Eva Longoria. She's been in movies with Mel Gibson and all kinds of big name actors. So anyway, great gal. She's going to be on the show where we'll grill her a little bit about the Hollywood industry. And
who cooked? She cooked?
Anyway, she's a Midwest girl and she with Dominican roots, and she makes these turkeys. Man, I'm telling you, they're ridiculous. She's got them in an overnight brine. They're great. So it's become ritual for her to rent the same condo out, and then we get a group of like 20 of us, all friends and family, kids. We're on Bayside. Kids can run around in the sand, and we're just cooking, eating, and drinking all day. It was great.
Did you get your drink on?
I got my drink on.
Yeah.
I drank probably about 4 bottles of red wine, and I don't know how many shots of Fortaleza. Oh,
what's Fortaleza?
Tequila, way.
Oh, tequila wine.
Yeah, no. I said tequila, way.
I know, but you drank wine also that night.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good. Not so good mixing.
No. Actually, I was okay. Yeah, no, it was a great night. I think I ate so much goddamn food, it probably soaked everything up anyway. But yeah, great bunch of people. Love them all dearly. Yeah, there's a bunch of photos on the Facebook page. But anyway, yeah, that was cool. I'm looking forward to Matt Palupeleilei's fight, my security guard at the Alibi. He is fighting a guy named Kong Seraile. It's going to be over at the Town and Country Convention Center. It is the Fight to Win series. They are in the super heavyweight black belt division, so it's one of the main events. There's like 36 fights. And I think
36 fights, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people from where I've been training at Victory that are supposed to participate.
I saw that Dean's going to be there with a lot of the Victory guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to that.
He's a super heavyweight.
Correct.
And he has his own jiu-jitsu place, right?
Yeah, he's got a few that he'll mention when we have him on the show. I think they changed the name. I'm not sure. I'll have him explain all that.
And he's your head security guy.
Correct.
And you got tickets for this?
Yes, I got tickets. We're good to go. They're general admission tickets, but it's in one of their banquet hall rooms. So
I saw it's at that Town and Country because they're doing all that renovation right there.
Yeah, so it should be good. It'll be a good time. So
well, let's give a shout out, Matt. I hope you win, and I hope everyone that goes there has a good time. And it's jiu-jitsu has become a big thing in San Diego, obviously all around the world. There's been, the MMA fights going on that, your buddy Jason's involved as a security.
Right.
It's what's cool. San Diego's a fit town. People are doing.
There is so many jiu-jitsu studios opening up everywhere.
CrossFit, boxing classes, kickboxing classes.
People are taking charge a little bit. I dig it.
All the rock climbing. Yeah, this is a very fit town. You go down by the harbor. There's people just even going by the beach. It's been like the best. It's been 6 months now. I'm so happy I moved down here.
Good.
Even when I drive, and I was in LA today, and I just think, man, everyone's asking, oh, it's so good that you even made it up from San Diego. So it makes me feel special when you're not around as much also. So it's been good.
Yeah, that's crazy, though. I've noticed that San Diego has turned into like a fitness town. There's fitness like stores and like for gear and shit. There's fitness stuff everywhere right now. It's crazy.
And just as big as fitness is the cannabis industry. I don't think that hinders being fit. I think you can and even talking to Chelsea.
What a great tie you just brought in there.
Well, because we're going to be talking about it. I think it's been good because a lot of MMA fighters are going out there showing that they smoke. There's the oils for the and the people are putting after injuries. They're all about the CBD. That's non-THC.
Yeah,
non-THC, where they say it doesn't have any body high, what have you. But it's crazy. Just as fit as that, the fucking San Diego industry is huge right now.
It's big. It's big. Yeah, the legalization thing I still haven't really grasped. You know what I mean? Like it's just. I guess because I'm 47 years old, so it's just something growing up, you never in a million years thought you'd see.
No, because you went to that George Lopez party, and
correct,
and you were still had his special little joints that he gave you, and it's helping you. You had an injury, so it's good.
Yeah, I've got lots of injuries. One more car accident, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, stay away from that, man.
Hey, speaking of sports, did you fucking see this Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson bullshit they had on pay-per-view? Do you believe people paid $20 to see that?
At least it's $20. But yeah,
it's just weird because like the whole purse wasn't their money. Like it should have been those two dudes putting up a few million of their own money.
That's what it was about. Say, hey, I will challenge you for that.
But the money
the sponsorship paid for it.
Yeah,
just like basically it was just highlighting them too. It wasn't about, hey, I'm putting my money up against you.
Right. So they still charge everyone pay-per-view for that? Like, come on, it's a fucking golf match between two guys that are past their prime. Obviously.
Are they? Did they put on a good show? Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. I'm not paying to see that shit. I saw a couple highlights on TV. It looked dull. It looked boring. It didn't look anywhere near the hype. People weren't screaming and getting crazy like I thought they would. But that's the thing. These guys are past their prime, so a lot of their fans.
But Tiger Woods just won a tournament, right? And he's on his up and up again, and he's looking strong, right?
He's looking okay. He won a minor tournament. Nothing big.
I thought he won a major.
No, it wasn't a major. No, he's still a ways away from banging a major.
What about Phil?
I don't think Phil's got another major in him either.
He's not in the top 10 at all, so this is like
Phil fluctuates. He's in and out. Like all the time you see his name either in the top 10 or you don't see it in the top 80. Like he moves around a lot. Yeah. From what I've seen, I could be way off, but from what I've seen,
So this is like all these fights that they're trying to put on with Tito and Chuck Liddell, just these old guys just trying to like, hey, let's see if we can sell the prime back from these days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a blatant money thing. When you want to put two guys in their 40s
because that's just happened this Thanksgiving weekend.
If you really think about it, how dangerous that is.
But it got commission who have been
fucking
from California,
banging heads for 20 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, Chuck Liddell's 50, and
that's like ridiculous. Why would you?
So you're saying people they got the seniors tour for these older guys. They're not really there on the seniors tour, but they're still kind of in their like mid 40s. They're still kind of.
Oh, you're talking about golf?
Yeah, the older guys.
Okay. I thought you were talking about MMA, so I'm like, they better not have a division of 50-year-old guys. Like, that's not good.
But being like, that's what people are paying for this pay-per-view. They paid for these older guys to play that are past their prime, like Tiger and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
So they just passed their people.
There just hasn't been two big enough names since those two, iconically for golf, that anyone knows anymore.
There's
the turn is
Rory. He's pretty big, right?
Rory's already on his descent. It seems
Really?
like these other young guys are like, it's.
So there's no one like holding the title.
There's so many like late 20, early 30-year-old guys that are winning them left and right.
So no one's standing out.
No one's standing out. Yeah.
No one dominant right now.
No one, exactly. No one's dominating like Tiger did during his run. You know what I mean? No one's even close to that kind of aggression.
Does he even have a chance to come back and take over any records?
I don't think physically he's going to hold up long enough to win that much, just because all the back problems he's had, like extensive back problems for years. I just can't see someone coming back to play competitive enough golf at that level, at that age, nursing a sore back. Like
I heard him talking. He's
4
talking
days
about
of being on your feet, swinging a golf club is rough if you got a fucked up back. You know what I mean? These guys don't ride carts. They walk the entire course for 4 days straight on a tournament. So
you're saying this is strenuous sports? Golf is?
Golf's not as easy as it looks physically when you're walking up and down these fairways.
It is a great walk. That's when you golf. What do you think it's like when we go golfing?
200 yards a day. You know, that's a lot of walking.
I didn't even look at it that way. So would you say why were they not in shape before, and why are they in shape now? They're like,
well, there's a lot of younger, fit guys that are the ones that I've noticed are winning a lot right now, and I think a lot's got to do with that. You know.
You got to be on par on every aspect of life right now. Like how we used to.
The fitter guys are winning, basically.
In every aspect, if you're fitter, you're in life. Obviously, your blood, you're not going to get no diseases. Your immune system's good.
Your confidence.
Your
self-confidence is overwhelming when you're fit. Like, that's for men and women both. Like, everyone's proud of themselves when they're fit. You know what I mean? Like that's
weird.
Natural.
I'm like kind of 42 and trying to get back to my younger days, and I have been losing weight, and I noticed the confidence. It's weird how that.
Yeah, I think my point is, because that could be misconstrued. My point is I'm nowhere near that, so I don't know what that fit feeling is like.
But you can still have confidence without it.
And there is
so
absolutely nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be fit to have any self-worth.
You're right. But it does help. It gives you that extra
for
level.
some people, it's a good confidence booster for them, I think, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it is. It does help, actually. I'm telling you, when
that fit lifestyle is hard, though, man. I don't know if people do it.
I'm liking it right now.
I like to eat and drink too much, so there's no way.
I know it's tough to balance that out.
Doomed. I'm 47. I'm doomed.
So you just want to just let it go.
I don't eat. I don't. It's not.
No, but
not that I eat like shit or anything. It's just I just like to eat.
I just like to.
Period. So
that's why we do the bar reviews, and that's why we do the restaurants. We got to go taste the good stuff out there.
That's true. What restaurant are we reviewing on this episode?
Oh yeah, so with Chelsey, we met her at with South Beach
Bar and Grill, the old reliable. I know a lot of you either Obetians or former Obetians, or shit, half the fucking city knows the South Beach now. So I'm sure you guys are very familiar with South Beach.
Yeah, it has the most beautiful view, just like going up on the top deck.
Yeah, it's weird. I haven't been up there since they were one story. I haven't been in.
Oh, that was your
so
first
long.
time?
Being upstairs, yeah. I was there 3-4 days a week hanging out when I lived in OB.
Yeah, so she'll be commenting on the second half on that, giving a little insight. But didn't you live in OB?
I lived in OB for 15 plus years.
Yeah, you used to bartend, right?
Well, no, I worked the door at Pack Shores in like '93 for Ruthie.
And that
for a few years, yeah.
It's changed down there. What do you think? How it's?
I loved it. I love OB. That's my favorite part of San Diego. Absolutely. I'm in Point Lone now because I'm too old, but I love OB.
Yeah, OB was a jam. I lived there for a good 8 years. It was the best time.
Yeah.
I remember having a party at my house where I had 91X come in, and we were on the radio. We were doing cake stands. I had some good times at that old house.
Oh yeah, when you guys were up on
Every Halloween, I remember we had a one party. We had like 23 Girl Scout girls dressed up, and they came all the way down from LA. Dude, we were fucking having people come all from all over.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a rooftop deck at that place?
Yeah, I looked over the
you could see the ocean and stuff. Oh yeah, that was cool. I remember that. There was quite a few of you guys living there. That was like a college frat house, man.
It was. It was in a nice area too. And it wasn't. It was on just the outskirts of OB. When it was
up on the hill. That was gorgeous.
But it was before the little freaking those birds. I wish we had those birds. Actually, I wish I did.
That hill was a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you guys walk up and down that?
Yeah.
Oh fuck that noise! And there was no Uber or Lyft back
then either. Yeah, no Uber, no Lyft.
Nobody wanted to wait
was all taxis.
40 minutes for a cab. Like fuck it, I'll be home by then. You know.
Yeah. But imagine for getting an injury on one of those birds going up down fast.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing horror stories about people eating shit on those.
Horror stories, bro. I saw a horror story when I was in OB, like a grandma with her kid, and she goes. That road has like a bunch of.
The roads
potholes.
are shitty in OB.
So
man.
she endoed, and
everywhere.
I was like, dude, she got up and acted like nothing was wrong, and I thought she almost broke her leg or hip. It's bad.
Yeah, a friend of mine had a Facebook post that she's evil. Her post said something like, "Nothing makes me happier than seeing people eat shit on scooters."
Oh man!
And there was a video attached of just a bunch of people like wiping out on like the birds and the limes.
Dude,
and all kinds of shit.
That's lawsuits just in itself, right
yeah.
there. And then think about there's enough people out there running and biking, and you really have to fucking pay attention. I'm not hitting anyone out there.
I'm gonna have to share this video. Oka, I know if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. That post was hilarious. I gotta get that link and post that on our Facebook page because that's priceless. I'll share it from her page and I'll get that up. It's perfection.
Yeah, you know what's kind of cool? I liked how you mentioned we're coming on episode 10. I think episode 15 we're gonna have maybe our first live hosting party, and I'm excited about doing that.
That's what we're shooting for. Don't hold us to it. Things take time, but
no, we'll be doing video.
We should be able to pull.
We'll pull it through. We're supposed to have some video going next week. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're finally gonna get our cameras up and running, so you won't have to just look at our boring logo on the page.
You can see the expression of like fucking.
You can see me laugh hysterically at this man sitting in front of me.
Oh man.
Oh, that's too good. So I'm excited about our guest. She's obviously a good friend of yours. I'm excited to talk about the cannabis industry. I've got tons of questions for her that I'm not going to have time for. So we might have to keep her after so I could get the rest of my shit across to her.
Didn't you say you were also going to talk about, before we head off the first half, about Off-Road Warehouse, giving a little plug on to them and maybe what happened before Thanksgiving at Balboa?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, one of our sponsors had a fire at the Off-Road Warehouse location on Balboa. Fortunately, it didn't hit the showroom, but unfortunately, it did address all their office and corporate headquarters stuff. So our hearts go out to you guys who are having to deal with that mess. I can't even imagine dealing with computer issues. Like, no, thank you. But
we got to give a shout out to them because they're our sponsors. So
I did want to give a shout out to you guys, and I hope you guys recover soon. I know you've been staying open, but I know it doesn't smell pretty in there. But you guys will fight through it.
That made the news. That's crazy.
Yeah. So again, to give them their due plug, if you've got Toyota, Jeep, Chevy, you name it, any kind of off-road vehicle, look no further than Off-Road Warehouse. When it comes to wheels, tires, lifts, kits, you name it, they do everything. Everything off-road related, gearing, axles, all that good stuff. So anyway, Off-Road Warehouse. You can find them at www.offroadwarehouse.com as well. Okay.
All right. Well, Chelsey coming up next. Excited. Let's have an awesome first half. Thank you, Off-Road Warehouse.
All right, guys. Quick break time. Talk to you in a sec. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Too Much to Handle. I am Billy the Kid, and on behalf, again, of my 90% vodka drinker, AO, what's that other 10%? Moonshine or is it beer?
It's the beer. It's the IPAs.
Ugh, so fucking gross. Anyway.
What's up, buddy?
Are you ready to bring on your special guest?
Yes.
I'm excited for this as well. We have Chelsey Moter with us from Cannack. Chelsey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We're good. We're glad to have you. We have
a pretty lady on the show.
we have.
I wish we had a video this time. Hopefully next time we'll get her on video.
Okay.
We got a cool guest. Talk about the cannabis industry.
Yes, we do have someone who's in the like she broke it down to me,
needs to
but I'm going to just
describe
say
it.
marketing because there's no fucking way I would remember
This
all
is
the
all-
shit she was telling me.
This
she
is
does.
all techie shit,
does so much
algorithms.
shit.
She's gonna go on from Google, like they have your mindset.
Like I'm
done.
just gonna say, this girl has got her fucking finger on the pulse with the cannabis.
That's why we
industry.
brought her
That
on.
is
I
for
want to
sure.
know.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your company, Cannack. You are the CEO. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, we specialize in like lead generation, marketing automation, and customer acquisition for B2B businesses in the cannabis industry. So
Customer acquisition. That sounds pretty cool.
Well,
I hope you acquire customers.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
crazy how advanced the cannabis industry is now with all the the recent and past legalization.
Yeah,
of it, so
Utah passed freaking.
I can't believe
Can you
Utah.
believe Utah, man?
Utah.
The Mormon state.
That's crazy.
How, like-
Michigan
Yeah.
passed.
I know.
Like how do Midwest states? I'm from Wisconsin.
Does this
There's
happen
no,
every year that we have an opportunity to bring states on board? And
I mean, it all happens at the local level, so it's
Right.
dependent on the states and those votes, which, I mean,
how
I
many-
still think has like a little bit of validity instead of like the national vote.
How many states are we at now? How many legal states do we have?
That I'm not too sure.
it's
on.
what was it,
It's
like?
quite a bit.
It's like
I think
13ish.
15 to 20, I would say.
Oh, it's that many. Fuck, I'm behind.
Or I mean, maybe a little bit more. It varies based on like
'Cause there's
medical legalization and like
recreation.
legalization.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh, how many
there's a
recreational
difference.
states do
so
we
that's
have?
probably where it's only 15 right now, the recreational. But I know there's a lot of them that have to be more medical for medical reasons.
Yeah, there are. Everything's. I mean, it moves super fast. It changes like every single day. But
Yeah,
And
this is a
you've been in
high
You've been
profile
in the
industry.
for a while.
yeah, a little over 2.5 years.
Yeah, so so a lot has changed because I remember I had to go to my boys. I said, "Hey, I'm going to meet you here." I had to wait for them for about a half an hour to pick up herb.
Yeah.
It's or even longer, and you're hoping that batch was good. Now I can go in. It's like it's cream of the crop. The shops are awesome, but there are taxes on them.
Dude, yeah. It's crazy. I mean, if you look at like Washington, for example, they like when they legalized cannabis, since I think 2014 to 2017, the price of flowers dropped like by 77%.
By legalizing it, why would it go up? With the
Because
taxes?
like with regulation and legalization, like you only have X amount of like growers, X amount of retail stores. So the demand is high, the supply is low because of that, and it's increasing the expense. A lot of businesses, if you're like a grower in the black market, it's really tough. It's really, really tough. I mean,
to be in the black market.
yeah, I mean, especially in like the Emerald Triangle, like Mendocino, Trinity, and Humboldt counties. That's where that's cream of the crop, man. You have
That's
that's
where
where
that's
all
the bomb shit, right?
That's
Yeah.
the bomb shit's like grown there.
Is
And
it indoor?
Mendocino?
Is
Yeah,
it indoor
baby.
or outdoor? I'm an indoor type of
I think
connoisseur.
that's
a lot of
outdoor,
it
isn't it?
is outdoor.
Yeah.
Like I went to MJ BizCon last year and I sat on the bench.
What's
I was
MJ
like-
Biz?
It's like a really big cannabis event for businesses, B2B businesses in the cannabis
Las
industry
Vegas?
in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Okay, it's their
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
one.
Yeah, it's there was over like 1,000 vendors this time and over I believe around 27,000 people. But last year I went and it wasn't as big. And I had sat next on the bench to like this grower and he flew out. He totally lives off the grid. He's a black market grower and he knew that 2018 was going to be legalization and he wanted to see what's up and he didn't know it was going to be like $800 at the door to get into this fucking event.
Oh wow!
Wow,
And like he was like,
$800?
yeah. And he was like, I was just trying to see what's up because like I grow, I live off the grid, I don't even have a cell phone, and they're totally a cash based society up there. They don't have a
Right.
banking system or anything.
You better get with it.
It's been really hard on them, like they have their grows are their assets, but then they have to give up like even more than 50% of their company. I just wrote an article on it actually, and it's pretty interesting.
Let me ask you this: what is the name? I know there's a term for dispensaries that basically they know they're going to be there maybe 6 months at a time, and then they shut down and move.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
crazy.
There a term
I
for
see
that?
very
It's like
often.
I think
like a cowboy or outlaw or some kind of shit like that. Like
they were under a certain prop that allowed them to like be a medical dispensary. I forgot exactly what it was. And then 64 came and you had to be like fully legal. And so I think now there's only like 15 legalized dispensaries in San Diego.
Okay.
Legalizing that means there's a tax. I take your ID.
Yeah.
And
if you're medical though, you don't have to pay the taxes on it, I believe.
Really?
Or it's a very like it's a discounted amount, something like that. You get first of the line preference in line at the dispensaries.
And then I'm a veteran. I get 10% off already. Kind of offsets what that whatever license is.
Well, she had mentioned Washington earlier, and it's funny because I don't know if you remember a couple of months back, I went and met my brother in Idaho to do some traveling, blah, blah, blah. But we stopped in Spokane. Well, we flew into Spokane because it's closest to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and we hit a dispensary there. And it was my first time walking into like a fully legalized dispensary where you walk in, you hand them your ID at the door.
That's it.
To show you're 21, and then boom, fucking Candyland.
Yeah.
It was a fucking trip. Like my brother's walking around, and he told the lady behind the counter, like, look, grab a basket because I'm getting a lot of shit. We hit the fucking limit because there was two of us, so we got to double what one person can buy. We fucking dropped $400 in 10 minutes.
Insane, man. And it was funny. Like I think on July 1st they changed the packaging for like edibles and all the cannabis stuff, and so all of the dispensaries were like marking their shit down 70% off, and so you could just go in and buy it all up. It was like so great.
San Diego's got a good pulse on the industry, whether it's kind of...
It does.
Because there's a lot of unlegal places outside, like Santee, El Cajon, still that don't...
Well, these are the shops I'm talking about. Like, people will open up shop, and they're good to go...
For
and
X
they know
amount of time
within
they get
6
shut
months
down.
they're going to get shut down, but
Yeah.
then they just move to another location.
Yeah. There's
and set up there was a term for that. I can't remember the term for that.
Gosh, I know there was I was talking to this illegal dispensary still now, and like that's what they would do. They would have like an informant tell them like, hey, when they got the warrant, and so they would move all of their product to a different location.
Yep,
Right.
they would probably have like 4 or 5
then just
different
jump
locations.
around.
Yeah, get a month to
Yeah.
month
That
lease
seems like
and
a
just-
lot of work. So
Yeah.
like that...
But
Dude,
you're
the
making
money
you're
they're
making a
making.
lot of money,
Okay,
Manny.
so-
You don't have to pay taxes, license fees,
okay.
dude. Yeah.
So that's
Big
like
money.
running a liquor shop, kind of in a sense, just moving it immobile.
Yeah.
It's almost like a car vent, like how they have the food trucks and stuff. They
Yeah.
could do something like that.
Yeah, and they still
That'd be
will. And you
crazy.
know what?
There's so
No
many
one-
different business models that could happen.
Exactly. And a lot of people are still going to buy from the black market. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, if
when
you're given
you
the
don't have-
opportunity,
yeah. It never killed anyone before. Why is it going to kill anyone now? Like everyone
not-
who
But
Yeah.
these places
Used
that are
to,
licensed,
but-
there's a lot of regulations on or compared.
there is, it's licensed to license to license,
And
so,
the-
and that all
and you
it
know-
costs money if you go through a third
Crush,
party,
you know, their
distributor,
THC.
cultivator, things like that. Yeah, but if you're vertically integrated, you can reduce those costs and increase your margins and give it to the consumer at a lower price than other cannabis companies
Yeah.
and cultivators who are individually, owned. Sometimes you'll have dispensaries owned like 13 different freaking licenses. I think like Kaliva is one of them. And so they're able to push their product, not only their brand in other dispensaries, they have their own dispensaries, and they can cultivate and distribute, test everything.
Like example of a license for selling the oil. Each
Cultivating, manufacturing, distributing,
Every aspect
testing,
has a-
retail.
Because I know
Yeah.
a guy who owns a distribution center, like for the weed and the oil pans and all that shit, and they're bringing in 40 grand cash a day, 7 days a week. He nets over $1 million a year. Nets over $1 million or $1 million a month. I apologize.
As a
over $1 million
distributor.
a month as a distributor, and he distributes 2 dispensaries.
Because I was asking, where do I want to know where I fit in.
That
you know,
is
because
like he's the guy who gets from the grower, packages it, or packages the oils, puts everything, has it,
private labels or something.
rolls, tubes, all that shit, and supplies the dispensaries with it. $1 million a month.
Wow.
That's retarded. So what I wanted to ask you is where do you see the future of the cannabis industry and with legalization in mind? Like, where do you see it going eventually? Do you see it like to where eventually it's going to be like alcohol? Like right now we're talking about alcohol in the 1920s. Like, are we going to eventually it's just going to be legal everywhere?
I mean, I think we're a couple years away from that globally. Yeah. But, honestly, I see it playing out just like the agriculture industry and the meat industry. You have all of these craft growers, right, that supply their communities in their own little space. But then you also have, bigger business that needs to come in and acquire those companies, just like.
So that's the acquisition part.
Exactly, where the mergers and acquisitions come in. And that's just monopoly
I mean,
and capitalization. I mean, that's just how the world works. And especially, but the thing is like the growth of like the mergers and acquisitions, it nearly doubled last year. So it's going, I guarantee you, in 2019 to triple. Like, it's all of these smaller brands, they can't afford the licensing fees. And these holding companies that have these large grows and these assets are able to provide, ample supply in the years ahead. And so
it's going to end up being like Marlboro and fucking Camel.
Exactly. And then you have, what is it? Constellation Brands and Pfizer and all of these other larger corporations just waiting to freaking come in and
the
take their piece of the
pharmaceutical.
pie.
Thank you. I was just going to say, are the pharmaceutical
Exactly.
companies going to get
They
on
are.
this mix
They
eventually?
are,
Are they
but
waiting for it to be more PC, or
I think what they're waiting for is the banking, because you can't bank. There, it's federally backed, banks, and so there's the
until
the banking
it's
thing.
until
Exactly.
it's 50 states.
It's
So what do you mean? There's going to be like High Times just went on the stock market. You're saying all these companies are eventually.
No, what she's saying is it's not
I think
federally
it's-
approved yet.
Yeah, but I think there's rumor in 2019 that it will be at least there'll be some laws passed to allow banking, at least in the industry. And the consumption thing, there's no consumption laws. You have legalization laws, but you have
like how
no
they have
freaking
beers. They
consumption
say
laws.
you could drink 3 beers before you're buzz type scenario.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
like
can't-
a blood alcohol level.
Yeah, I
But
read
how do
somewhere
you
it's like,
do that? Like you can't get too stoned, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, how's it going to work with
Especially
driving?
if
Is there
you-
going to be?
I mean, there's already like devices
Can
in
they
place
make
to test that.
They can do like a breathalyzer for weed?
Yeah, there's already that in place.
Really?
Yeah, they do. They have that.
Fuck,
You
I
breathe
didn't even
into
know
it. Yeah, something like.
So will they
But
have?
what if the
24
person-
hours if you've smoked
But
within
that's
24
not
hours
fair.
or
What if a
something.
person's? That's crazy.
Oh, it's about
So
to get
will they?
worse, man.
So do we see like a driving, roadside test for weed?
Yeah,
in the
there is
future, then?
just like there is for DUI.
I
You're
mean,
gonna have
but
that
you said
for-
like there's
for
no
cannabis.
consumption
Wow,
laws. So do
that'd
you
be
think
crazy.
Yeah.
they'll obviously
24
in the
hours.
future
That's
have?
stupid because
I think it's something like
Yeah, but
that.
that's just
I don't know.
that's like red or green though. That's not percentage. That's why I'm wondering if eventually
No, but
there's
they
going to have to
can.
be.
I think so. I think they
But
can
that's
tell
saying,
percentage.
let's say I get home from a
Right,
long
right,
day
and
of work,
where are they
I'll-
going to cut it off? Like, you know what I mean? Like now
I don't
it's like
know,
a drink an
that's-
hour or whatever, and then 0.08. How are they going to work it out with weed? Like, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they will.
I mean, it's because it's going to be money. Because think about all the,
Oh yeah, there's money just as much on the other side there, the law side.
California's got to even out their shit. It took Colorado a while. It took Washington. All these other
What do you
legalized
mean
states
even out?
couple-
Like,
like
are they
right now.
complaining about? Do they like it or they think
No,
it's
the price of weed is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry, but like I heard there was 38% sales tax in San Jose.
shit?
Why
Whoa.
the fuck would I ever pay that shit?
38%?
No, but yeah, like I get it for the people that were uneducated about weed and that are curious that are going into the dispensary right now. But the people who have been in weed are like, oh hell no, I'm not going to pay those prices.
Yeah,
But,
You know,
but again,
it's-
it's not regulated.
It is regulated in the dispensaries, which is a good thing. But I would still buy
I think
black
people,
market weed.
well, people that don't know,
I mean,
like you were saying, like the people
yeah.
that don't know are so happy and excited
Yeah,
to be
they're-
able
they're
to
like,
walk into somewhere and
Exactly.
buy it. I think they're
exactly.
willing to pay
Yeah.
that price.
It's
you know
like
what I mean?
it's like psychologically, it's all right.
It's just
Yeah.
the
I
fact
go to the
that,
liquor store.
and just the fact that you're able to,
And
I
you
think
can
might
check
have a
in
little
the.
to do
You
with
got
it.
their cool. Like I showed you the stuff that looks like a cool packaging right there.
What is it? Cannadescent?
the Fade Co, the one I brought in.
Yeah, I think it's Canada Scent. They're a really good brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you smoke a good brand.
I try.
Do you smoke it when you meditate?
I do it all. It helps me with all of it.
You do it when you do all the M words?
The M words? Oh, yeah, meditate.
M words. You know,
yeah, what else? What's the other one?
Masticate, you know?
What's that one?
Oh, my God. You don't know what masticate means?
Am I a master?
Educate me because I don't know.
Okay,
either.
good. I was like, shit, man. I'm a
Dude, did you know I just learned what
Yeah, we talked about this.
Bakuki was
Bukkake.
on Cards of Bukkake on fucking Cards of Humanity.
Chelsey is a
I had no
Bukkake virgin.
idea. I had no idea.
Bet you got a fucking eyeful when you Google it, didn't you? No pun intended.
Do you feel dirty for it?
She watched it for
No,
at least 17
I had
more
no
minutes.
fucking idea what the hell it meant.
I don't know. It came
Oh
up.
my god.
Yeah, you guys had to tell
so
me. I'm like,
uneducated.
I'm interested. Like, she's telling me what it is. I didn't even know.
Oh, God. I
my
guess I'm the
gosh.
old dirty man. Anyway, masticating means chewing, you fucking morons.
Chewing.
It means to chew.
Oh yeah, so that would be
With
the
your
other
jaw. To chew is to masticate. And I can't even believe I'm explaining this to you.
I didn't get into the chew, bro. That sounds kind of cowboyish.
Cowboyish?
No,
How
I'm
the
just
fuck is it
fucking
cowboyish?
with you. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's dirty. He's fucking get all
It's
nasty.
dirty to chew food?
Oh, I thought the chew. I thought
No, masticating is your jaw chewing food.
Oh, I didn't know. It was, okay.
Not chewing tobacco.
Well,
Fuck. I said chew, not.
Oh my god. You guys are kindergartners.
Seriously.
For real.
Seriously. So hey, getting back to the industry, one thing that you mentioned to us when we met the other day for drinks and to talk about the show is and a concern of mine is like what's going on with like the Big Brother thing, the eyes in
That's
the sky.
what
like,
she does. I want to explain that SEO AI
like,
shit.
You mentioned like how everything we do is under a microscope.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that pertaining to the cannabis industry?
Yeah, I think there's like way bigger systems in place that monitor all of the shit. I mean, you have a lot of businesses being like, "Oh, my Instagram page got shut down," or this happened and that happened. MailChimp isn't letting me send anymore. All of this.
Oh
stuff,
yeah, people
you know
unsubscribing.
what I mean? Yeah,
And it's
I mean,
why? Because they're related to the industry?
No, I mean, if you just take into account how programming and algorithms work, you can manipulate algorithms easily. Okay. I mean, to search for certain keywords and terms and, decrease the value of that. I mean, it's like my friend, she got banned from Facebook for 30 days for hate speech for saying that her kitten looked like a piece of, or was a white trash version of Siamese.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous, right?
I say way more offensive shit on this show.
I know. But I think
because
17,000
followers, right?
She's up there. She's a social media person, but I mean, I think literally people that if you criticize oh my god, okay, and that's why I'm having my webinar, because I'm gonna elaborate a lot more on this shit. But I mean,
okay, well then let's get back to brass tacks though. Regarding the cannabis industry,
yeah,
with the eyes on you, like, is there something that triggers?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. They're not
like
gonna.
You were telling me about one of the guys that was going to that seminar from Canada.
Yeah,
Vegas.
and then he got a lifetime ban from entering the U.S.
Why?
Because he booked a flight from Ontario to San Diego, and a couple months prior, they came out with a law that said, if you're affiliated with the industry at all, you are open to being completely fucking banned from, entering the U.S. And everybody else, I know that a bunch of attorneys had alarmed a lot of the other investors to fly to LAX, drive to Vegas, and do this whole diversion thing.
So you couldn't fly to San Diego, or you couldn't fly to LA?
You couldn't fly directly to Las Vegas because that's where the largest freaking cannabis event was. And I guess he was going to check out a facility or something, and he never made it to the conference.
I still don't understand, how if the U.S. has 15 or 20 states where marijuana is legal, how can they ban you from the country if they suspect you of going
it's like
to an event?
No,
but wait,
I think
it's
they're
an event
trying
we're
to-
hosting.
I think they're trying to prevent like a monopoly from happening.
Make an example,
You know what
because
I mean?
people have money.
Because
That's like Chinese coming in and buying all the houses.
Yeah,
out.
and that's what I think, survival of the cannabis industry. You're trying to, especially if you touch the plant,
Investors.
you're trying to acquire global share.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The brands are trying to acquire state share. And so.
So do you think they're trying to like
Take the investors
manipulate that? And
Yeah,
so
and
they
like
can
Canada,
get in on it first.
they have 8 growers that are gonna net, I don't know, something kilogram million something over there, like Aurora,
What's the status of
Tilray, all
legalization
that.
in Canada right now?
It's legal.
It is legal in Canada.
Yeah. It
Like all throughout the
legalized,
entire
I think,
country.
in October 1st or something like that.
For the entire
I mean,
country.
I might be off on that, but
They don't break it down into territories. It's the entire
yeah,
country.
no, I don't know too much. I'm not that educated on it, but I do know that 8 main growers are going to control the mass production in fucking Canada.
There's a lot of
I mean,
fucking-
and like, they're trying to come over here and like, buy up property. And the way we're doing it is kind of ass backwards by state, by state, by state. But I mean,
So the growers are the
it's-
guys, or the people that make the money.
the people that touch the plant make the money.
The growers.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Everyone that touches the plant makes the fucking money.
So you're talking about this AI that's a way to get information and market yourself. There's always
Yeah.
keywords. You got in the industry with the SEO. Now you're changing your business model. Why is this going to affect the industry? How's this AI thing going to affect?
It's going to affect it.
Because you
a
mentioned something
lot.
on in Europe happening. That
Oh
could-
yeah. So the same guy with that got banned. Okay, so if you look outside of the industry, a lot of the shit that happens like in digitally, and this is like with marketing and stuff like that, and that has to do with like data privacy and internet laws and things like that, and that still involves like
Because you're typing, all you do, they got you wired. Right now, I'm talking to a wired lady because of your job. That's all you do. You're Miss Connect Cannabis. You build different sectors. You know a lot of people within the industry. You're
Yeah.
a flagged lady right now, right? Wouldn't you say so?
I would think so.
Okay.
I think based off of my queries and what I search and what I know, I think I'm a very good target for devaluing
shit.
whatever the content that I share.
Because you
Whether-
talked about scores, right? They're going to be rating us or
Oh,
something.
the citizen scores. Oh, yes. Everyone has a citizen score, and it's based on a whole fucking list of shit.
Well, then you have a pretty
I
fucking
mean,
high score with your
dude.
list of contacts. You know what? That means our show is going to have a high list of
Exactly.
contacts. Yeah. I'm
Dude,
down.
a
Let's
lot of
do
people
it.
don't even know how deep, you sign that, you agree to that terms and condition, you agree to that privacy policy. But what you don't understand is how that privacy policy has changed and updated over the years. You agree to it, but you
Just
don't
boom.
actually fucking look at it.
Never.
But
No,
over
nobody
the,
reads
but over the years, you have agreed to, okay, we're going to accept your information the next year. Okay, we're going to accept your information and use it this way. Okay, we're going to accept your information, use it this way, and share it with other fucking people. Okay, and then this way, this year we're going to accept it, share it, and let the government fucking do what they want with it. And that's what it has come down to.
But I heard they
And
have to share with the government. How could they not? I just was... it's part-
surveillance, yeah. For
You have to
for
get integrated.
surveillance, but-
Facebook. I just saw
exactly.
it's-
Facebook and Google. I mean, the biggest. Oh my God! I would bet you a fucking $100 million. The next acquisition is Google's gonna acquire Facebook. I fucking bet you that.
Why you say that?
Because that's just
'Cause they
the
need
route
that
of the
leadership?
fucking industry. There can't be 2 main competitors.
Oh.
I guarantee it. Look
Has-
at High Times
has-
just acquired Dope. Those were the 2 main freaking
Do you think
cannabis.
has Facebook reached the level to where Google
Has
should
to.
buy them?
I bet
What about
you.
Apple?
Oh,
Will they ever get
bet
by?
I
you.
don't doubt it because
I freaking-
first of all
Why
there's
not
there's
Facebook
not been
by
a
Google?
competitive
I want to call it.
okay. I believe you because no one
Dude, it's
no
so
one's come
gonna
out with a
happen.
competitive Facebook. You know what I mean? Like remember we used to have MySpace and now we have Facebook. There hasn't
No, and
been
now it's data mining. That's what they
haven't
make
had
their money
a
on. They don't make their
acceleration.
money on advertising. They don't make their money on fucking users. They make their money on sharing and selling data.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money.
So we're stuck with Facebook.
How do you think Google makes all their fucking money?
Yeah.
The government. Dude.
Well, how
They,
so?
they bid for contracts for different
Oh
scenarios.
my God, yeah, and they
No, I'm not
acquire
doubting
all
it,
of
I
these
just don't know.
artificial intelligence companies. Oh my God, you should see
So,
their fucking.
so
So
how's,
it's just
how's
the
this
people
gonna?
that are feeding Google with
yeah,
information.
but you tell Google your most deepest, darkest fucking secrets.
That's
Oh.
what
And
she says. I
you
haven't.
know you do.
Google
you know
thinks
you
I'm
do.
a pervert,
If
by
you
the way.
fucking think that
Oh,
you're
you're
like
right.
maybe
If I
questioning
search
your
porn, I did.
sexuality, or if you You know what I mean? And what happens when that data becomes public? That's some of the shit that you don't even need anyone to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you got fucking genital warts or herpes or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you need that to be linked out?
Because just
Google knows more about you than your fucking doctor does.
Clicking private doesn't mean it's private from
that is
Google.
Very true because
it way more does. You don't go to a therapist for your problems anymore. You Google what your problem you're having, and then you use relational therapy to like cope with your fucking feelings.
And that's the problem with today's society. In a nutshell. Thank you. You just summed it all up. People are fucking pussies now, and they don't want to talk to anyone anymore because they're fucking cowards.
That's what I was gonna
say.
So
they get on their fucking cell phone.
Don't you?
Yeah, but Google's your best friend.
Who told you
You tell Google more shit than you tell your best friend.
That is some millennial shit right there.
We need to change that.
It is, but these are the providers that we've trusted in the most.
Do you
for all of our decisions?
Do you change your
everything
habits?
we based? Yeah,
and
everybody
therefore,
does.
we have man buns and skinny jeans. Thank you, Google.
Hey, I like man buns.
You do?
Oh,
yes.
God.
What do you like about it? Oh, my God.
She likes gay guys. That's
I
cool.
know. I'm a fucking insider hippie.
Insider happy?
Insider hippie. I'm a hippie.
Okay,
that's not hippie.
Yes,
that is
it is. I like
fucking-
man buns.
Oh, God. You lost me. God, you're so smart, too.
Yeah.
You're so
I am.
smart, Chelsea.
I was like,
Why would you say you like man buns?
I was like,
Because
Do you
they're fucking
understand the
intelligent as fuck,
credibility
too.
just sucked right out of you?
No, the credibility still exists on my LinkedIn when my 20 publications I'm featured
Oh,
in.
God. Don't ever tell anyone you like fucking man buns on LinkedIn. Whatever you do.
All your publications are going to go down. So
Dude, like, everyone's going to be like, lover of man buns. Nope. Next. Swipe.
oh, dude.
Oh, shit. Hey, so really quick, like, I know we just fucking went all over the place, but you and I were talking about drones, and I know that's weird, but where do drones come in with the cannabis industry? Like, you're telling me that the government's already got fucking drones, and I'm just wondering where the levels of privacy and, you know, all that pertain. Like, what are they, where do drones come into the cannabis industry?
That I really don't fucking know.
I mean, are they trying to keep an eye on grows and shit like that, or? I know that's.
I really don't know. It's so. I mean, all I know is like what happens outside of the industry with like internet privacy and surveillance and shit like that, and then I know what happens inside, and there's no direct connection. I can't find a source. You know what I mean? Unless there's somebody that fucking blows a whistle. Sometime today, I would love to interview them, and they should for like. You know, surveillance on the cannabis industry, because I guarantee you there are filters out there that are like monitoring this shit and flagging people and ranking them and scoring them all throughout Facebook.
It's probably
and
the
social
Air
media.
Force that does it.
And
the Air Force.
Well, I just think it's ironic.
I mean,
and they probably subcontract some people out to do it. Just like
I mean, and in San Diego, I mean, they do have like law enforcement in San Diego Police Department. I read something today that they do have like they are issued. I don't know, maybe
police
like
drones?
30 or 40 something fucking drones. Yeah, to police protests.
I think that's
they
kinda
have
cool.
facial recognition. Oh, just like that investor.
Yeah.
I told you that the EU has the eye border control, the facial recognition lie detector software.
What's that going to do?
Airports. That's going to tell you if you're a fucking liar at the airport and if you're going to get through security faster or not.
Wait. You had mentioned facial recognition, but where does lie detecting come into play with that?
Oh, it comes in.
Lying about who you are.
So anything
Google eye
your
border
face?
control, and
I'm
it's
just
implemented,
wondering,
and it's going to make its way here, and that's what it has to do with that investor. If you go through
So
the airport
when
and
you go
they
to
say,
TSA
"Are you involved in the cannabis industry?" and you say no, they're going to fucking see you.
Okay, there's my
there
example.
You go. There's one
Okay.
connection.
You know how like
Okay.
all the Colombia people that they used
They're
to
going
come
to be
across?
fucking lie detecting people at an airport? As to
yeah, and
where
I
you're
guarantee
going?
you, only certain people are going to have security clearances to walk through that.
That is so unconstitutional.
No
you know, it's funny
shit,
you
I
mentioned
know,
something
it
you
is.
mentioned earlier, which I have to bring up because it's such an oxymoron.
So all
You
this is
said
basically
internet-
it's
shut
showing our
up.
lies.
You said internet privacy, which I think is an oxymoron because the two don't coincide. There's no such thing as
No,
internet
people are
privacy
mining data
on
and
any
selling
level.
it off and taking advantage
But
of
you
this shit, and
sign
there's
it.
no laws in place.
You
But
prove
there's-
it. You don't read it. You sign it. You
But there's
approve it.
no. My point is, there's no privacy.
No.
Look at Cambridge Analytica, hired by Trump's fucking presidential whatever the fuck to mine the data of millions of Americans, develop this fucking app. And if it wasn't for that whistleblower that pulled the whistle, like nobody would have ever known how we were manipulated. Like intentionally, we don't even know how we're being marketed to sway the population's vote nowadays.
That one just got called out. It's probably happening 24/7 through every situation.
Yeah, it is. So why would we put our trust in Facebook? We trust fucking Facebook so much. We trust Google so much, and it's an illusion of fucking privacy.
But tell me,
they're mining our data and using it for things against us.
Will be mining other business leads and doing the same.
Well, fuck yeah, it's called capitalism.
Okay, so where's it go? We want it in our own way, but
you want to grow your fucking business. Well, then you got to take advantage and do some shady shit. That's
there it
it.
Goes. So
sorry, but it's called capitalism.
That's what I wanted to get back to, because this is exactly what she does. She mines the internet.
The American way.
Yeah, man. Hey, once you get over that shit. But I'm not saying that, capitalizing on America and millions of people is unethical. You can be a fucking B corporation and give back half of your profits back into the community and be a morally and ethically correct type
you
of
can run your business a good way.
Exactly. You can be a good moral businessman. You don't have to be some shady fuck.
But that's where that EU will check people. They'll like, damn, I better be good.
That's why you gotta look to your private interest groups. Like I follow the EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and all of this shit. And they're activists. They're activist groups for your privacy and things like that.
Well, you clearly have a pulse on everything related to the marketing aspect of the cannabis industry.
Dude, it's just
I applaud your extensive research. Like that's awesome. Like you're a commodity.
I know how programming works and what it can do and what it's capable of, and it's it can get into the hands of the wrong people, and then it's just it's fucked up.
Can you give me an example? If I was a customer and I wanted your services, what would you offer me?
That's a good question. I was going to get to that.
The reason why I asked that,
plug your company.
Yeah, because you have so much insight. You talked about how.
Right.
I can't see how anyone wouldn't benefit from having you.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not going to tell you what I do in the first fucking conversation that I have with you. I'm going to have 3 phone calls and then a demo and then a contract and then maybe a proposal and then a contract. So it's a fucking long sales process because I'm B2B. So I got to build trust with you first.
B2B,
and I have to,
being business to business.
Business to business. Yeah, I don't work with any direct-to-consumer products or plant products. Those are a shorter value.
Well, that just shows the severity of her shit.
She's qualifying people real quick. What other filters do you have?
The first phone calls, I have to understand what your pain points are, your challenges, what would happen if you didn't contact me today, what your routine would be, what your budget is, who are you, what kind of authority are you, and then if you meet past that, then we'll go to a goal setting and planning call, and I'll go over the ROI with you and what your realistic expectations, are. They're not going to be over the top, and then if you go past that, then we'll move on to further and further down the funnel. But
so it's like website and kind of like a Salesforce type scenario,
No, I don't really say Salesforce. I don't know that company. I mean, I do know that company, but I don't.
It seems like you're much more expanded upon than that. It seems like she's got.
It's just qualifying your fucking customer and then providing value to them. I mean, you don't want to accept the wrong kind of customer. I mean, your whole growth of your organization is going to be in retention and providing value. That's where you get your long-term clients and your long-term contracts. I mean, if you don't start with retention, then you're kind of fucked. If you're just this machine that just wants to focus on sales and, is cold calling, good luck, man.
That's gonna
good
die out.
fucking
I've
luck
been there.
because it's not gonna work out.
Now.
I talked to so many fucking
businesses.
I talked to so many businesses, and they're like, "Oh, we got 4 or 5 sales teams, and we got 1 director of marketing." Your business is fucked, man. The whole thing has switched from you have to focus way more on marketing, less on sales because it's out of their hands. The digital age and the Internet of Things have changed consumer behavior indefinitely.
I can work from home a couple of times a week. And I only need to be in person maybe 2 to 3 times. Before, it used to be every day I had to be in front of someone.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
and if you make a transaction on the internet or if you make a purchase, you're going to research the best option and solutions before you actually make your purchase. It's not going to be right there. You don't need a salesperson. to tell you what the best option is. You can do it yourself.
Seems to me like
It's-
cannabis industry isn't the only industry that needs Chelsey. God damn, girl. You might need to spread your wings in a little bit of everything. Shit.
I think that's what she wants to
You are on top
do.
of it.
I
I'm
work
impressed.
with a lot of ancillary businesses, so businesses
No,
that
you're
support the industry but
you're
don't touch the
impressive.
plant directly. You know,
You're impressive. You know your shit. I'm impressed.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to wrap it up, but we're at that half-hour mark again on the second half. Chelsey Moter, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
awesome.
for having me.
Your insight is very insightful. For crying out loud. Like, wow, you
Thank
blew me
you.
away. Like you're.
It's so
you're
funny, we're
very
talking-
well-spoken and very
For the
very
cannabis,
intelligent.
everyone thinks like, oh, it's stoner. It's a stoner industry.
No,
It's
that's
such a
that's
business.
ridiculous.
It's
It's
such a-
I mean, that's like saying everyone in the alcohol business is a drunk. I mean, that would be foolish to say that.
Yeah.
This is an industry that's gonna, I think, eventually match the alcohol business.
So, okay, just before we go, I want Chelsey
Yeah.
to
Go ahead.
plug. She always has great ideas with marketing stuff. Let's talk about our kickoff party that we want to have her on for a second.
Well, clearly we'll have Chelsey's input on our 15 episode mark kickoff
Yes.
party. So I
Yeah,
mean, she's got
we'll
big
do that.
ideas for
But
us.
if you want to learn more about the cannabis industry and how to survive the future, I will have my webinar, and it will be you can sign up on my website. Just go to cannack.com and sign up for that, and it should be
Spell it out,
I'm
'cause
shooting cannack.com. There'll be a little pop-up window on the bottom left-hand corner that's asking you to sign up for that if you're interested, and then you should receive an email. I'm shooting for December 13th, which is a couple weeks away. I have a host. I'm trying to get a guest on here about
got your
mergers and
work cut out.
acquisitions, and yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. You'll learn a lot about how to survive the cannabis
Well,
industry.
just hearing from what you had to share with us
Yeah.
today, I am
Yeah.
going to be fucking tuned in for sure. Like, that is going to be very educational.
That's not that
Absolutely.
far away.
No, it's not. I gotta create a lot of fucking content. And
You got
get
a
my
little
shit
work cut out
together.
for you, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a good, credible guest speaker on there. I'm trying
Cool.
to source that right now. So it'll be 3 of us. I have a host.
How long do you plan out to be the webinar?
It's probably gonna be about 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm putting together a slideshow presentation with some numbers and statistics and facts and some really interesting AI surveillance, internet
Ooh.
privacy bullshit.
This is
And how
awesome.
to survive your mergers and acquisitions, because that's really at the growth rate of the cannabis industry. That's what a lot of these brands and businesses have to look forward to, is just getting acquired and a good exit strategy.
It's so funny they put on these seminars for the Rich Dad Grow Dad stuff. This is going to be its own little building block of potentially getting people to follow you. Huge.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's all about just providing like good information, being one step ahead of the industry, and having an outside perspective looking in and how it's going to affect everything. So yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's episode
yeah,
10.
you've got a knack for this. Like,
Thank you.
I mean, honestly, like no matter what the industry is, I think you would excel. Honestly, I
Thank
think
you. Thank
you're,
you.
I mean, guys, she is fucking
Like,
sharp as a tack.
Yeah, when she came in,
She is not missing a beat.
Not even that. She's
You
also
can't go
awesome
wrong
person.
with this gal, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up. I want to give a shout out to our second half sponsor, Off-Road Warehouse, a.k.a. ORW. 4 locations. San Diego location at Balboa, Kearney Mesa, El Cajon, Temecula, and Escondido. If you've got a Jeep, Toyota, Chevy, whatever the hell you got, you're in off-roading, look no further than Off-Road Warehouse. They can do everything from lifts, wheels, tires, you name it. Off-Road Warehouse at orw.com. On behalf of myself, Billy the Kid, and AO,
Peace out, brother.
and Chelsey, why don't you give a
Yes.
little shout out?
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right, you guys. Love your show. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.